In the kingdom of Ethelmore, the marriage auction was a sacred tradition. Young women of noble birth, human and dragon kind alike, would be matched with worthy suitors. The highest bidder won the bride, and with her came prestige, wealth, and political advantage. Everyone assumed Princess Kira, the Dragon Lord's daughter, would fetch an astronomical price. She was magnificent, with scales of deep crimson that shimmered like rubies in firelight, golden eyes that gleamed with intelligence, and the bearing of someone who'd never been denied anything in her life. Dragons were powerful, beautiful, and coveted by every ambitious lord in the realm. But Kira had other plans. While every other noble woman waited to be chosen, Kira walked to the human district, a place of poverty and struggle where commoners lived. She carried with her a purse of gold coins that would have made any lord weep with envy. She was looking for a husband, yes, but not for the reasons anyone expected. She found Thomas in a bookshop, of all places. He was thin, bookish, and completely ordinary. He was restocking shelves in a cramped little library that served the poor community, reading every book that passed through his hands. He had no wealth, no status, no family name of importance. "I want to buy a husband," Kira said bluntly, walking up to him. Thomas nearly dropped the book he was holding. "I'm sorry, what?" "I have gold," Kira explained, her dragon accent making every word precise and formal. "I need a human spouse. Your people have something mine lack, a certain quality of heart. Will you marry me?" Thomas stared at her, convinced she was either insane or this was an elaborate joke. "You're a dragon princess. Why would you want me?" "Because you're reading a book about the history of human suffering," Kira said, pointing at his hands. "And when you read, your eyes show compassion. You understand pain. My father wanted me to marry a powerful lord who would give me more power. But I want something different. I want to understand what it means to be vulnerable." Against every rational thought in his mind, Thomas said yes. The marriage shocked the kingdom. Lords and ladies whispered in confusion. Why would a dragon princess choose a poor human bookshop clerk? There had to be some political advantage they weren't seeing, some hidden strategy. There wasn't. As weeks turned into months, something unexpected happened. They fell in love. Thomas introduced Kira to the world that had always been invisible to her. He took her to the poor districts and showed her families struggling to survive. He taught her about human art, music, and literature, the ways that ordinary people created beauty from hardship. He showed her that strength came in many forms, and that vulnerability was not weakness but courage. Kira, in turn, transformed Thomas's life. She used her wealth and position to build schools in the poor districts. She created hospitals. She established libraries so that people like Thomas could have access to knowledge. But more importantly, she showed Thomas that his intelligence and compassion, qualities he'd always felt made him unsuitable, were actually extraordinary gifts. "You see people," she told him one night, running her clawed hand gently across his face. "Most beings see rank and status and power. You see souls. You see potential. You see worth in those society has discarded." 1 year after their marriage, the Dragon Lord called Kira before him. He expected her to say the experiment had failed, that she was ready to annul the marriage and choose a proper husband. Instead, she brought Thomas with her. "Father," Kira said, her voice steady and sure, "I came to you wanting to understand the human heart. I thought I needed a husband to teach me. But what I learned is that the human heart teaches through connection, through real partnership, through seeing another being fully and loving them anyway." She took Thomas's hand. "Thomas is not a burden I've accepted. He is the greatest treasure this kingdom has ever given me. Through him, I understand what true strength is. True strength is choosing love despite fear. True strength is building rather than conquering. True strength is seeing someone ordinary and recognizing them as extraordinary." The Dragon Lord looked at his daughter, then at the nervous human beside her. For a moment, his expression was unreadable. Then he smiled, a rare sight from the stern ruler. "You have become wise," he said. "Wiser than any of my generals, any of my advisors. You taught yourself something that no amount of power could teach, that the greatest treasure in any kingdom is a heart that loves genuinely. He turned to Thomas. You have married above your station, human. But more importantly, you have loved my daughter in a way I could never fully understand. That is a gift beyond measure. As they left the throne room hand in hand, Thomas whispered to Kira, I still can't believe you paid for me at an auction. Kira laughed, a sound like wind chimes mixed with dragon's fire. I didn't pay for you. I paid for the chance to discover what real treasure looks like. And I found far more than a simple deal. I found my home. Sometimes, the best marriages aren't about power or prestige. Sometimes they're about two beings from different worlds, choosing each other every single day and discovering that ordinary love is the most magical thing of all.